Hi, my name's Mark, one of the pastors here at Trillium. I was reading a magazine recently that had Donna Strickland on the front cover. Donna Strickland is one of the co-winners of the 2018 Nobel Prize for Physics. She teaches out of the University of Waterloo. She's one of the first and only women to have won the prize. She joins an amazing pantheon of former winners like Einstein and Heisenberg and Max Planck and Marie Curie. And she's a part of this luminary circle. She's also a member of Westminster United Church in Waterloo. She's actually been a former chair of their board, quite active in the congregation. And it got me thinking about how at Trillium we have nobody like her in our church. And I was kind of pining for that, having somebody of her celebrity and stature, professional stature, intellectual development in our congregation. And we have no, superlative scientist in our congregation. We have no super gifted athlete like a former NHL star or MLB star player in our congregation. We have no super gifted artist or politician. We have no former prime minister or premier. Kathleen Wynne goes to United Church in Toronto. We have nobody like her in our congregation. We have no former moderators of the United Church. We have actually no retired ministers of all here. We're just a bunch of average people. No stars, no celebrity, no huge standing in our culture. And I was wondering what it would be like to have somebody like Donna Strickland in our church. I wondered what it would be like to have had like Stephen Hawking in our congregation. Now, Hawking was an atheist, so not likely to find him here, but there's so much to admire about him in his life. He was a brilliant physicist back in the 1960s. He was instrumental in our understanding of black holes. He's made other contributions. And his walk, his struggle with ALS is something that I think is very compelling for many people. I stand in immense admiration for this man whose prognosis was only to live into his early 20s, but actually lived to 73 years old. And yet I've come to realize also that, being an elite scientist or an elite artist doesn't necessarily endow one with necessarily great insight into matters of faith and spirit. And even though we can admire Hawking in his own personal walk and professional life, we're not obliged to follow him down the path of atheism at all. And in fact, in some ways, our averageness may be actually a blessing to us in this part of life. We're not necessarily having to follow into a professional path that is built around a practice or an understanding or explaining that's built around atheism, for instance. So much of what we've discovered in the universe, in the physical universe, is still an incredible mystery to us. Dark energy, dark matter, the inner workings of a black hole as such. I mean, even something as simple as the eye, the human eye, we understand the mechanical processes behind the human eye. Light comes in as a photon, as a particle, and its light is translated into an electrical signal that goes up the optical nerve to the brain. When that signal arrives in the brain twitches to life, and all of a sudden we see. And we see Notre Dame Cathedral, we see parts of the Bruce Escarpment, we see maybe elephants in Botswana. We could see almost anything, really. The experience of seeing itself is a mystery. We have no idea how light translated into electrical signals, translated into neurons firing in the brain, creates pictures and experiences for us as human beings. We have no idea about that. We have no idea about how memory really functions in the human mind, in the human brain. It's an incredibly complicated process. It demands huge sophistication and interconnectedness in so many different ways. As I say, there's no working hypothesis on something that's so essential to us. And it got me thinking about the fact that when it comes to our experiences in life, whether you're super smart or just average, we all are in some sense on the same playing ground. We all as human beings and as spiritual beings have our intuitions and our inclinations to guide us. And in some ways, I think when it comes to our spiritual lives, our averageness can be a real asset. We don't need to shy away or be embarrassed or feel a little bit intimidated by the fact of our averageness when it comes to matters of spirit and faith. I think when God looks at our averageness, that actually God sees something really wonderful to use and to work with, to collaborate with, and to celebrate.